Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
As you can see, the cats are on the bed with us. You might be able to see Henry and Seymour. And Alexander's right over here. We wanted to check in and we've had a lot of people asking questions about exactly what happened with Sal and how it happened. So we just wanted to fill in a few more details about that.
Right, yeah. So, basically what happened was I came home from work one day and I was going to get the generators out and work on them and change the oil and just make sure they were running okay because it was getting time close for us to leave. And I took one generator out and it worked. That was okay. I took it out. I went to get the other one. I would go to turn around and I hit my head on the hitch. Is that what it's called? The hitch?
The part where the
hitch hooks in. I hit my head and right away I knew, oh boy, that was pretty bad. I hit it pretty hard and then I noticed it was starting to bleed uncontrollably. And it just kept bleeding and it wouldn't stop. I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, it was pretty scary. And I knocked on the door. Poor Sharon was making some soup. And she got all worked up when she saw it. She almost panicked. And I just told her, just get me some paper towels so I can stop it. And she got me some paper towels. I put it on my head, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. Honestly, I don't know how we were able to get to the emergency I don't know, what do you call those places? The
urgent care.
Urgent care. Sharon drove me there.
And he came and knocked on the door, and he had told me he was going to go work on the generators. And then all of a sudden there's a boom, boom, boom knock, and I'm like, it didn't even sound like him. And he doesn't knock, he just comes in. I said, oh boy, that doesn't sound good. What's going on? And then I see him out there, and there was just like blood running down. I have a picture, but obviously we couldn't show that. And then I think I went into shock. I think he was in shock. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I just, I sent a picture to somebody to help us. I took a picture of him and I explained what was going on with Sal. And so we asked for advice on, where should we go? And then we ended up, and Sal's like, come on, let's go. And, there was like all kinds of blood on the ground.
Yeah.
It was, and when we were driving, I did take a video too, and he had like a lot of paper towels, and it just kept coming through, and there was like an actual hole.
I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, it was really scary. So, go ahead.
So we got to the urgent care center. My sister suggested we go there, I think, and so we went there. It's not horribly far away from here, and once we got there, they could not stop the bleeding, and they had to go ahead.
You had to wear masks in there, and so we stopped to grab a mask, and because they saw how much bleeding, they were like, "Don't worry about that," and they just said, "Come right in."
And so right away they just said, they were gonna have to get an ambulance, and so they called an ambulance, and the ambulance people came, and he put something on my head. And still wouldn't stop bleeding, so he got this big wraparound bandage and he put it all around me, and then he started putting pressure on it, and they put me in the ambulance, and then Sharon was going to come with me, but then they said no because of COVID, and it stinks not to have had her in there with me. And so I went in there, and at this point I was really scared. I was really scared because it didn't seem like the bleeding was going to stop, and so they left. We left the urgent care, and once they get on the road, they put the sirens on, and that kind of scared me a little bit. I'm thinking, oh, this must be pretty serious if they got the siren on. He knocked on the door for his partner, and he said, you know what, put on the siren and let's get going.
And the hospital is called ECMC. I forgot what that stands for right now. Erie County Medical
Center. And it's for
head injuries. That's like when they take people that are like life flighted and things like that. And and then the hospital was about 15, probably a good 15 miles away from the urgent care. So I had to drive all that way by myself. And go ahead.
But while we were driving to the hospital, I asked the guy that was treating me. I said, am I going to be okay? And then he was nice. He said, oh yeah, sure. It's just a cut, you know what I mean? It looks like one of the vessels, maybe it hit one of the vessels, but you're going to be okay. And that comforted me. And then we finally got there, and I had to wait for a while. Sharon wasn't able to come and see me yet. And so finally the doctor came, and he looked at what I had, and then they wheeled me in, and he gave me some stitches. The stitches didn't stop the bleeding right away. He had to do it more than once, and then finally it stopped. And of course they gave me a tetanus shot, and then after that they said they were going to give me a CAT scan to make sure there was no issues or anything.
And we thought, oh, he's going to get a CAT scan, and then we'll go home.
He comes out a little after the CAT scan, after I got it done, and he says, you know what, we can't let you go. I mean, you got a brain bleed. So we're gonna have to take another CAT scan in a little while, and
6 hours,
something like that. And
this was at 8:30.
Yeah, and then they brought me into another room, and that's when they let Sharon in. She was able to come in, and I was comforted when I saw her. But
it was a few hours.
My sister, God bless my sister, she was there too for the whole time.
She came and sat in the waiting room with me, and then she was in with me with Sal, and then she stayed until really 5:30 in the morning or something.
And guys, I haven't really thought about this whole thing, and just so much has been going on, and then we got COVID, and I had to recover from that. But now when I think about it, I almost feel like it's I don't know, what do you call it when somebody goes through something and then
traumatic?
Some kind of traumatic effect. It's like every time I go by near that hitch, and I'm scared. Because of what happened. It was not fun. It was not fun. So
Sal had hit his head under the RV many times. One time we were with Homer and Catherine, and I think he was wearing a hat or something, and he hit his head there's a part of the fifth wheel that sticks out. If you look at the video where he went to the hospital, that video, we show it. But he hit his head a few times going under, and then we thought, well, maybe it's because he's wearing a hat and he can't see because of the visor.
No,
but every time, I avoid going under there. I'll go around, and I would tell Sal, don't go under there, and he would go under there, and I would get so mad, and hopefully now at least, maybe this saved his life, because at the hospital and even after, it was such trauma, fear, thinking of what if he would have went out there, and because he told me he was going to do something with the generators. And what if an hour went by, he hit his head, and he was laying there unconscious? I mean, it was just...
It could have been pretty bad.
Horrible. But with prayer, with prayer, we asked people to pray for us, and thank you everyone that prayed, and, they did send him home. You can watch the video of the hospital. We didn't record as much at first. When things like that are happening, it's hard to even remember to record, but we did get a lot of footage of it. But
yeah. And we did order a helmet for myself. So from now on, if I have to go under there, I'm going to wear a helmet. It's is it a biking helmet? Yeah, it's a biking helmet.
Mountain bike, maybe?
Maybe. Not that I would hit be reckless under there, but it's just good to have that extra layer of protection.
Yeah. He's going to move everything from the underneath the front part, so that anything that he needs to get to is going to be on the sides, because we have basement doors on the sides, and then he'll have to go under there maybe once in a while to check the batteries or something for water.
Yeah, there's just no way around that, but I'll have a helmet on. But I also wanted to thank everybody for all your prayers and for your concern. It was very nice to know that, you guys are out there thinking of us, thinking of me and thinking of us, but especially Sharon. Thank you for taking care of me that whole time. I don't know what I would have done without you.
That was a horrible, scary experience.
I know.
But we got through it, and we're thankful that he's okay, and we're all okay, and, and it was through prayer and God, so
So yeah, well, that's pretty much what happened, guys. That's hopefully that answers most of your questions.